Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming to you live from the state of Washington during a stay at home effect or stay at home order. Stay in your place. Don't go outside. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Although we're going to be getting a lot more than that. Welcome to Quarantined, episode number 2, a live stream of which there is quite literally no purpose. There is quite literally nothing that I have a reason to do, but I'm doing it anyway because this is an interesting time to be alive, and I think people out there, regardless of where you might find yourselves in this crazy, mixed up, horrible fucking world, maybe you want a little bit of comfort out there in the middle of the night, something to keep you warm, or maybe perhaps if you like the sound of my voice, maybe a little bit on the moist side. You know what I'm saying? But no, we live in a weird world. We live in a crazy world. And it's only getting weirder, but at least there's a little bit of relief coming our way. At least tonight, we did find out that the Senate and the White House came up with a deal that is going to benefit Americans in need. Now, this doesn't go to the rest of the world, which I hope that their governments are going to be helping them out when they need it, because I think at this point they probably do. And all we can really ask for at this point in time is that, we all get the help that we need, and we all stay safe, and we all stay healthy, and we all stay ready to fight this thing, because it's going to be a long, long, long battle against this virus. But first off, why don't we take a quick look here at the article that's popped up on the Hollywood Reporter a couple hours ago, saying federal officials reach deal on $2 trillion aid package. Now, from what I heard, this was originally up to like $6 trillion, but they agreed on $2 trillion. You know, gotta love those pesky zeros, right? Now it says here the unprecedented economic rescue package would give direct payments to most Americans, expand unemployment benefits, and provide a $367 billion for program for small businesses to keep making payroll while workers are forced to stay home, and that is good. Let us be absolutely fundamentally aware of that fact, that this is good, that this is what people need right now. They fucking need it, man. They need to have that. It's not that they need to they need to be healthy, absolutely, but they need to have that reassurance that their government has their back. And while people were bickering over what was going to happen with this particular deal, you had a bunch of right-wingers on Twitter today saying, like, we need to reopen America. No, you don't. Because that's how more people die. And I want to quickly point out, some asshole on Twitter was like, you need to look up, what was it, like a logical or fallacy, whatever the fuck it was. He said something to me about that. It's like, you need to look up this, let me find the tweet here. False dichotomy. And then he goes, false dichotomy, logical fallacy, which, by the way, logical fallacy is part of a false dichotomy. Because I was saying that it was a bad idea to fucking, go back to work right away because of that shit. Anyway, so, but that's, not the case. It says here, the White House and Senate leaders of both parties announced an agreement early Wednesday on unprecedented emergency legislation to rush sweeping aid to businesses, workers, and a healthcare system slammed by the corona pandemic. The urgently needed pandemic response measure is the largest economic rescue measure in history and is intended as a weeks or month-long patch for an economy spiraling into recession and a nation facing a potential ghastly toll. I'll be fair. That $1,200 is a great thing. That is not enough if this is going to be a months-long issue. You got 1 month for certain, maybe 2 if you stretch, but if people still can't get their fucking toilet paper, which is still the problem, by the way, then there's gonna have to be more of a payment. But this is obviously just the first of what is potentially going to be many of these agreements between the Senate, the House, and the White House. Top White House aide Eric Ueland announced the agreement on a Capitol hallway shortly after midnight, capping days of often intense haggling and mounting pressure. It still needs to be finalized in detailed legislative language. But he says here, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. We have a deal. That's a good thing to hear. The unprecedented, why they keep saying unprecedented as if it's like, okay, Jesus Christ. Stop using that word. The economic rescue package would give direct payments to most Americans, expand unemployment benefits. We already talked about that one, right? One of the last issues to close concerned 500 billion for guaranteed subsidized loans to larger industries, including a fight over how generous to be with airlines. Hospitals would get significant help as well. Honestly, I'm at the point now where fuck the airlines. Fuck the airlines on this shit. Like, I mean, I'm not like, I get their businesses. I get that they have to do their things. I want to make sure their people get paid. But they have overpriced themselves for years. They've nickel and dimed us for years. All this crap. They've made travel utterly terrible for years. And there was a lot. Wasn't there a lot there with like stock buyback as well? So yeah, if you get the tax cut and you use it to buy your own stock, get fucked. Get fucked. All right. So obviously from here, we it goes through for quite a bit here. So all right, again, the unprecedented Jesus, who the fuck wrote this? It's by the Associated Press, and the person's like, the unprecedented. Did you think of it? Not another word. Let's see. Would give a direct one-time payment of $1,200 per adult and $500 per child directly to the public, which is great, which is absolutely fantastic. That will help out a lot of families. And that really, at the end of the day, is what matters, right? To help out the families at the end of the day is what matters. And this is where we find ourselves. And I'm happy with this. I do think we are going to get more than one. I do think we are going to get more than one of these payments if they can't get this shit underway. I know we are behind Italy. We are behind China. They're seeing some improvements, but China still had 620 deaths today. So you know what? That is Italy had 620 deaths. That is a lot of shit. That is a lot of shit and a lot of deaths, and still has to be figured out. So all right, let's take a quick look here through the chat. Swift BMF here says, and I agree with this, spend it on your local mom and pop shops, not on Amazon or Starbucks deliveries. I agree. As an Uber Eats driver who sometimes does pick up Starbucks, I fully agree. The woke flat earth man here says, I'm just here to tell you that the earth is flat. Logan Paul, is that you? Go away. Let's see. I will be late apparently for my own funeral. Sure. Fat J here says Trump is going to give you 1,200. Stop shit talking the God Emperor. Well, it's also McConnell. And look, I'm happy that they're giving people the money. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking crap about them. Jesus, I have my right to free speech. You fucking asshole. Safety Zoom says I want my $1,000. You'll get it. You'll get more than that too. Shidoka says, what would I do? Save the cash, maybe use for food in college. Well, that's a good thing to do, Shidoku. That's an absolutely good thing to do. I'll be paying for food. I will be paying the mortgage. I'll be paying gas in my car and covering some stuff I need to take care of, and also shopping locally. So I'm not buying anything. I haven't bought anything off Amazon in a while. I just don't buy anything anymore. Nothing I really feel like I need. Let's see here. Artemis here says, hi, here in Argentina, also implementing the same thing, obviously smaller in US dollars, but it is relatively similar to a typical salary, which is fantastic. Epic Gamer 440 says, where my money? Well, it's not here yet, Epic Gamer 440. You have to wait a little bit. They have to go through the whole process. It's going to be fast, right? It's going to be fast, but it ain't here yet, right? You know what? Watch, this thing's going to come out right before Final Fantasy VII drops next month. People would buy it. Perry Mecta says pay off credit cards. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be doing that too. This is my problem though with stimuluses, right? This is going to sound really fucking dumb, but I don't like the idea of using the stimulus money just to pay off credit cards. I get why it's necessary. Like, I'm not like arguing against that, but it's like it's meant to stimulate the economy. But if it's just going into the hands of Visa or MasterCard or whatever the fuck these companies are, these banks, then it just stays with them. Right? It just stays with them. And that ends up then being a problem is the way I view it. And that, that people aren't going to be thinking that far ahead though. But I agree. Paying off credit cards is good. Hollywood Purgatory here says, I don't trust politicians. Yeah, you live in Hollywood and you trust actors. I'm just saying, you trust people in the industry. You got to give a little sometimes there, Jeffrey. Buy a Honda. Yes, Epic Gamer. Buy it. Illiterate Inc. says, everyone's so eager for government cheese, fight for your jobs back. This is not the same thing as that, dude. This is not the same thing as that. These people who are getting laid off, they're probably going to be able to get their jobs back when this whole thing is done and over with. But if there's no cash flow coming in, then these companies, they have to let the people go home. right? It's not like it's something they want to do, but a lot of people are going to end up getting their jobs back. I would assume. I could be wrong, and in some cases, I guarantee you I'm wrong. But it's still it's not like it's whatever. I don't know. Safety Zoom here says people have been shitting on Trump for making positive future tweets. Well, people shit on Trump for saying literally anything, right? And look, I will perhaps catch some flack for this one, but I do think Trump bears a bit of responsibility for that guy who ingested fish tank cleaner and died because he heard it from the president that this is something that could prevent coronavirus or protect from coronavirus. And the guy was dumb and should have checked it, shouldn't have done it. But Trump still put that out there, something that is not, 100% medically tested yet. I know why he did it, but I think it was dumb to say. I do. I think you have to be a certain way here. You can't just come out and fire off from the hip when everyone is looking to you for answers. They have to be measured, they have to be strong, and they have to be concise. Trump is none of those things, in my opinion. None. Let's see here. This is it is unprecedented, but you don't need to use the word like fucking 48,000 times. Let's see. Fat J says Trump won. No, not really. Already gives out free money. Everyone's going to love him. Well, Bush gave out free money too, and people did whatever with that shit. So, all right. Let's see here. Big business should pay back what they get, but that's in another reality. Well, that's also what they said in that article was about loans going to the bigger businesses. I'm a small business, and the state of Washington emailed me yesterday, and they were like, "Would you like a low interest loan?" And I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, maybe. Like I could, yeah. Oh, I could pay off all my debt and then have a very low interest rate. So I am contemplating that right now, just during this time. Okay, let's see. 130 of all Argentinian families will 1 in 30 of all Argentinian families will receive a bonus of about 150 US or 550 US. I think it's 150 US for the month of April. Shidoko here says, I feel that people expected this to be a 1 week event as many other things, but nah, this is here for the long haul. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Gator's going to spend his money on more masks. Gator's going to spend more time hanging out in my Discord and trying to fucking one-up me on Twitter like a little bitch. That fucking Jesus Christ. Anyway, don't call someone an asshole because they don't agree with your political opinions. Oh no, I will call everyone an asshole. I really don't care. I really don't care. Cocaine and hookers, 100%, dude. Do you hear about the Boober Eats thing out of Portland? They shut down strip clubs, so strippers are starting to deliver food. I love my home city. Let's see here. I guess cannabis is considered vital to CIA operations. Yeah, well, people are anxious, people are upset, and weed calms them down. That's why I think they should release the horse. I think there should be a bill in front of Congress tomorrow that legalizes and regulates prostitution, right? Now, granted, with social distancing, it'd have to be 6 feet away. And of course, you'd get like adamandeve.com or one of those sex toy companies coming out and finding a way to make like the 6-foot hand job machine, right? It's just like, okay, go ahead and place your dinghy in the Rubbertron 5000. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna bike pedal it. It's just mannequin hands with fucking mittens on. It just rubs you off. That's terrible. That's fucking terrible. But it's funny nonetheless. Let's see here. Hookers and PCP. Yeah, a lot of hookers, man. Hookers. Yeah, Hollywood Perctor. I agree that Trump deserves credit on this one. I'm not disagreeing on that front. I'm not. He is helping push us through. That is a leadership aspect, right? That is something that should have been done from the beginning, not the wishy-washy nature of handling it, not saying this is under control, that everything's going to go down. I mean, everything. Look, this is my biggest problem with Donald Trump is the guy cannot help himself by trying to be a salesman. He cannot help himself in trying to be a reality TV show host or someone who is in hospitality. He cannot help the upsell. He can't do it. He just can't do it. And and most of the time, you're going to get that with Trump, right? You're going to get that, and you're like, all right, whatever. He's just going to have his head up his ass again. Okay, fine. We're used to it at this point. But we're dealing with a global pandemic and an actual crisis that needs to be handled with a clear, very strong, measured response. And to get out there, and when a reporter says, hey, listen, what do you want to say? What will you say? Or what can you say to Americans who are scared right now, of which there are many? And he goes like, you're a horrible reporter, and goes off on this whole damn tirade like a fucking child. That's the problem here. So yes, he gets credit for this, and I'll give him credit for this, but that does not in any way whatsoever absolve him of other dumb fucking things that he has said, and dumb fucking things that he has done, and dumb things that the administration has done by putting like Mike pray the HIV away Pence, in front of, in charge of this thing. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. But at least now we are on some pathway to controlling or to alleviating stress and pressure put on the American people who are now trying to figure this out. So that is a good first step, but it should have also been done probably weeks ago, and we would not be in this specific situation because New York is going to get fucking hit hard. We're nowhere near out of this yet, and people are acting like we are. Anyway, Shiki Barra, what's going on, man? How you doing? Better than Custer? I don't fucking know what you mean by that one. Trump. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Listen. Okay. Trump does deserve this. He's not a great president. Like, seriously, are you fucking okay? Listen, I get you. We have different political opinions. I get that. And there are things that Trump has done well. But there has also been a lot that has been an absolute unmitigated disaster that has come out of his presidency. This, in part, recession, where we find ourselves right now, does have a lot to do with the tax cuts that Paul Ryan and Donald Trump got signed into law, where a lot of these large corporations were able to then take that tax break that they got, take all that money that they got, and they didn't reinvest a lot of it into their people. In fact, many of the companies bought their stocks back, which was basically creating a bubble that we are now finding ourselves amidst a bursting. The Dow has lost a fair amount of the earnings that it has ever since he took office. The economy is going to have to recover. It is going to take time. But to call him a great president when there's, again, been a lot of problems on this front, I don't believe it's accurate. I don't think you can judge the measure of his presidency until it's over. That's not to say he's not going to pull, a stunning return and come out and actually be the leader people need him to be, and people are desperate for him to be. But when you've got him going on Twitter and saying things like these two drugs will help stop corona, and a dude dies by ingesting fish tank cleaner, I do think, and his wife says, we only did it because the president said it was okay. While they are dumb, there is a balance of responsibility on the Oval Office because the buck stops with him. And if that is not something that is maintained or that is pushed upon him in order to take that kind of responsibility and to therefore act like a president and to not just fire off half-cocked on Twitter, then we're fucked as a people. That's what I'm trying to talk about here. I get that you like the guy, and that's cool. I'm pretty sure he'd be fun to hang out with. It'd be a very interesting conversation. But you can be a nice person or you can be a good person and still be shit at politics. And that's where we find ourselves. At least now we've got something better that's happening. All right. Trump is not at fault for the aquarium cleaners. No, he is. He 100% is. Right? Not like criminally at fault, but morally at fault. Right? Morally at fault. People believe what he says. People believe what the president says. People put power and they put importance on things that the president says. And that's why a president has to pick and choose what they say so carefully, because of the impact that it has. Trump does not do that. We've known that for years. This is a consequence of that action. So yes, there is a balance of responsibility that he needs to take ownership of. I'm not saying resign. I'm not saying step down. I'm just saying go and look at what he says and go, maybe I'm going to calm down on some of this rhetoric. Maybe one of my handlers or advisors is going to come in and go, maybe you shouldn't tweet that. Maybe you should just kind of, let's focus on something a little bit better. But to own up to the action. I believe I don't believe that's an unfair claim to make. I don't believe that's an unfair statement to make. I believe it's a very reasonable request asking ownership of a mistake. I know it's a fucking wild thing when you're asking the government and the president to own up to something stupid. right? But no, Hillary's emails, Benghazi. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, let's see here. The fact of the Garrick here says the fact of the matter is Trump speaks before he thinks. 100%. 100%. He thinks before he speaks, and that got someone killed, in my opinion. As much of the responsibility of that dumb action is on that person's shoulders, who is now dead, that person would be alive if that tweet did not take place. Right? We all can agree on that one? Pretty sure we all can agree on that one. Where is Biden in this mess? I don't know. Did you guys see? I made this the other day. I'll show you guys this one. I made this meme the other day. I was hoping it would pick up a little bit because I thought it was. There we go. Little Charleston says, "I love money." Who doesn't? So okay. All right. No, the audio fucked up. Okay, my bad. I was having some issues the other day. Yeah, StreamYard is been acting up a little bit recently. They've been acting up. They said, yeah, they're saying here it might be a connection issue. We'll see how it goes. I might not be able to load this image. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I made this the other day. I was like, where in the world is Joe Biden? I think it's funny. As Hollywood Purgatory would say, it's insensitive. It's insensitive to say that. But I think it's funny nonetheless. Anyway. All right. Thoughts on Yang and Tulsi endorsing Biden, man. Yang I called a while back, right? I got into a fight on Twitter with people because there was an interview, a quick, stop and talk sort of thing with Yang, and they're asking about Biden, and he's all like, "Oh, Biden's like the only person who's like come out and reached out to my campaign." And then after that, like Yang started walking back a bit on Medicare for all, and I'm all like, they've been talking, I'm like, that like he's a little bit of a snake on that front. Like I get it, but same point in time, like I called it. So I wasn't surprised when he endorsed Biden. I wasn't surprised when Biden had said in the last debate that he would have a female vice president, and Andrew Yang said, "Well, he didn't tell that to me when we talked." So you can tell at that point in time, Yang is saying, no, they've had conversations about Yang potentially getting the VP ticket. And, Biden kind of blew BTFO'd Yang on national TV because he made a claim, he made a promise. But I mean, knowing Biden, the guy can't fucking remember anything anyway. And Tulsi, Jesus, she's like, really, Tulsi? Like, wow. Like I could just see Jimmy Dore and like his head exploding on that one, right? Because he loves Tulsi. And then having her endorse Biden would just make him just die on the inside a little bit, and you never want to go full Jimmy Dore ever, but I could see that happening. It was so dumb though, in my opinion. Anyway. All right. Biden's going to lose. Be prepared. Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I don't disagree with that front at all that he's going to lose. Yeah, I completely think that. Ryan here says, you could already see Biden's mental health starting to deteriorate. Not that it hasn't for years. Yeah, it's gotten real bad in the last couple weeks, right? Like there was a video where like the last time people saw him publicly before doing that live stream the other day, where like his wife had to come out and like kind of coax him off stage. It looked like, that was wild. That was definitely a wild situation because you're going like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. Like, he's good in like bursts, he's good in bursts. He can get enough cognitive energy to boost to get through, and then he loses it. And that's why they don't want to put him on any, going up against Trump, I think he's got a good shot at I think he's got a decent shot at potentially winning. I don't want to say at winning, but like a good shot at potentially winning. But it all depends on how this whole coronavirus thing plays out. So yeah, the $1,200 that Trump is going to, the government's going to give us is definitely going to do well for Trump, the Trump stimulus or whatever branding they're going to come up for it. Cause they're already thinking of a way to put it on t-shirts, and Trump's going to go to his rallies and he's going to say stuff about it. And he's going to invigorate the base. But here's the thing with that though. And this is what I said on Twitter earlier today, and I stand by this. People out there that were saying reopen America is the dumbest, selfish, most cowardly thing I've heard, especially coming out of right wingers. I get why, I want my freedom. I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't do. That's tyranny. But this isn't a situation where this is for your own good. And obviously that goes against that's like the antithesis to freedom to some of these people. But in Texas, where the governor said, let old people kind of fend for themselves. We'll isolate ourselves. We don't need anyone looking out for us. At that point, you are effectively condemning them to die, right? Not 100%. It's a theory. Like I said in my video earlier today, it's a theory, but that's effectively what you're doing. You're putting them in harm's way. You are purposefully putting them in harm's way. Whether or not that happens, we don't know yet, but you're still doing it. It's and that in my mind is still morally wrong. And I'm only seeing right wingers talk about this, which is why I associate it with right wingers. I only see the right wingers do it. And I'm like, look, all you fuckers that are like pro-life when the fetus is in the womb, but hey, you got the elderly over here that are like really susceptible to this disease that can kill them. And you're like, they'll be fine. It's just ridiculous shit. It's selfish. It's cowardly. It's morally reprehensible in my opinion. And I have no problem calling that shit out. Really, I don't. I don't care. Not one goddamn bit. And I feel like that is going to be the bigger problem here. But that could also eliminate a lot of Trump's base because the older people vote. We know this. And if the elderly are afraid to go to the polls and the young go to the polls because they feel invigorated, we could see Trump lose the election as a result of that. Or elderly people start dying off in droves. You're losing a lot of your voter base. So the joke I made on Twitter about this was, hey, 4D chess indeed. We need to self-isolate to the best of our abilities, social distance ourselves to the best of our abilities, prevent the spread, keep it under control, keep it contained, not overwhelm the medical system, not overwhelm the hospitals, not overwhelm everything, and then we'll be able to get through this. And that's how we have to approach it, from a strong, steady, dedicated, patriotic approach. But when you got all these pro-patriot people that are trying to claim that like it's patriotism to do all this shit, when you're condemning people to effectively die, if they get it and they are of that vulnerable group of people, that is not patriotism. That is being selfish. And you are literally putting your own, desire just to go get a fucking burger at a restaurant and sit down over the life of somebody else, apparently, And so that's the way I see it. That is absolutely the way that I see it. Let's see here. Well, Michael, we're going to be getting money from the government. So you don't actually. So you're going to actually be kind of paid to sit on your ass for at least a month, right? Which is a good thing. It's just a good thing. So you want to sit there and run this bullshit argument on me about, everyone's got to work, right? But if you're so worried about it right now, do what I'm doing. All right. I'm going out. I'm delivering people's food. It's an essential service because people who are sick, who are in self-quarantine, are maybe not able to get to the store. And so I'm able to provide them with food. That's what I do. That's the service I'm providing. That's how I'm helping my local community. And I am also able to make some money on the side. Not a lot of money, by the way, but money nonetheless to help pay for the gas, pay for my car insurance, to afford to be able to do this and to make sure my kids are fed. So that's what I'm doing. So if you are in a situation right now where you cannot find work or you're out of work, there are options. Costco apparently is hiring a lot of people to help with the mass influx of restocking that needs to be done. And a lot of people that are going on in. Walmart is doing the same damn thing. A lot of local grocery stores are hiring people to come on in and to stock shelves. people who are going to become essential employees to the betterment of their community. So if you're going to sit there and you're going to complain about this, there are alternatives for you to earn a living right now if you are so worried about this. And I advise you to seek those alternatives, because that would then perhaps give you a little bit of that sense of ease that I can tell from your all cap locks answer here or comment here that you are clearly stressed out. Pornhub is also free for 30 days. I recommend a hardcore jerk off session. That's my recommendation to you. A guy in Missouri was charged with acts of terrorism for licking objects and people. Yeah, I agree. Lock that dude up, man. Let's see here. Chens here says, well, I still got work during the mess with no hazard pay. That's not cool. I talked to some Starbucks baristas today, and they're getting hazard pay, and they're happy to work, which is I don't blame them. Let me see here. Student loan payments should be postponed. I do agree with that. I think I know the IRS emailed me and they're like, you don't have to file your taxes until June. So you get an extra 2 months, which is great, for that. And, you can still spread the virus by delivering food. Yes. But when I take precautions on my own end, that significantly reduces. When you go into restaurants and you don't touch anything in the restaurants, right? The people working there are wearing gloves. The people working there are, they're covering their end. I take it, I get in, my car and I put it in its place and I take it to the person. So yes, there's still a potential for that risk 100%, but the risk factor diminishes when there are people who are taking active precautions. Like I have gloves that I wear. I have hand sanitizer. I have Clorox wipes. I have things to make sure that I'm being protected and that therefore I am protecting other people. Do you not understand how this works? Like you have to take those preventative measures. You can do it. It's not hard to do. It makes sure that people out there can actually get the shit. People got to eat 100%. 100%. Yes, it diminishes, but it still exists. Jeffrey, I'm not going to argue the finer points on this. We agree on the grander aspect, but arguing the details is not going to get anything done. And you always do this. In every conversation we have, you get stuck on a detail and you won't let it go. Let this one go. Just saying. All right. So maybe my parents can finally afford to pay me back the $300 you lent them last year. Well, I mean, if you want to make that claim, I could only imagine that shit. Doing that, go knock on the door, just like, Mom, Dad, listen, I know we're in trying times right now, but we just got that fat Trump check. You got that 300 you owe me. I'm just saying it may not be the best time. But that's it. I also want you to try it, and I want you to film their reaction and then post it on Twitter and let me see it. That's what I want to see. Let's see here. All this free time has me obsessively cleaning. That's good, man. My girlfriend's in the same. She's in that like nesting mode, so she's like cleaning everything. God is in the details. God doesn't exist. Anyway. All right. So thoughts on Alex Jones getting sued for saying his toothpaste cures the virus? Yeah. Is he getting sued, or I thought he just got a cease and desist out of the state of New York, like the New York Attorney General sent a cease and desist. That's what I thought. If it's moved into the lawsuit phase, that doesn't surprise me. You have those pastors, right, that are like out there saying like, oh, silver solution is a great way to stop the coronavirus. This will kill it dead in its tracks. But I did see the Alex Jones commercial though on his show where he's all like, all right, we got the stuff here that the Pentagon has used. They backed it up. Like all that, whatever the fucking nonsense Alex Jones says. And this is what I fucking hate. People are scared, and these are people that are out there trying to grift a dollar. A couple dollars off of people who are scared. It's like Glenn Beck back 10 years ago when Glenn was at the height of his fucking career, and he's out there like, going like, you gotta like buy gold, man. You gotta buy gold. You gotta get your money out of the system, man. You gotta buy gold and you gotta buy silver and you gotta make sure. And a lot of people did that. And then we come to find out that those gold buying companies or whatever, the gold selling, gold buying companies, he had a stake in those companies. And they were the ones advertising on his show, but he never disclosed any of that shit. And none of his fucking audience cared, and none of the general media cared. And no, by the time this information came out, he was already basically fucking done. And then today, this motherfucker comes out and he's all like, well, if I can find that fucking clip, that actually really bothered me today, to be honest with you. I was really pissed off at that shit because, this is how this is how we live in a world of absolute fucking grifters. When you've got Glenn Beck here, saying, hold on, I'm gonna bring this. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I set the audio on this one. Yeah, I did. All right. So, okay. Alex Jones is cook 100%, but this is.
I sincerely hope that we are not at a place as Americans to where we are going to let the Democrats jam down the Green New Deal because we're at home panicked. I want to have a frank conversation with you and ask you where you stand. I'm in the danger zone. I'm right at the edge. I'm 56. In Italy, they're saying if you're sick and you're 60, don't even come in. So I'm in the danger zone. I would rather have my children stay home and all of us who are over 50 go in and keep this economy going and working. Even if we all get sick, I'd rather die than kill the country, because it's not the economy that's dying. It's the country. And I'll show you just what's happening to us just by looking at the talks with the stimulus right now. We have that coming up in 1 minute.
Yeah, so Glenn Beck would rather everyone over the age of 50, the most vulnerable of the people out there who can get this and potentially die, to sacrifice themselves, to fall on their sword, so Glenn Beck's children can fucking live. Right, okay. My mom and my dad are over the age of 60. I care about them deeply. My stepmom is over the age of 60. My stepdad is over the age of 60. I care about these people deeply. I would rather we find a way to make sure that our people are taken care of medically through healthcare, because that is what we need right now. That is where things need to be. We need to make sure that people are safe, that we protect everyone. But no, Glenn Beck and that bullshit fucking crazy nonsense he spouts on the Blaze gets listened to by Donald Trump. Even though he was a never Trumper, then he came around and he found the God Emperor's tip of the pain and started sucking that thing dry for whatever fucking ounce he could get, because he was losing. The Blaze was dying. It was going to go under. And then all of a sudden they found themselves flush with cash and a newfound zeal, a newfound approach to like reporting on conservative nonsense. I mean, fuck me, dude. How can anyone listen to Glenn Beck at that point in time and think this is a legitimately sane individual? Shikibara here says, sure, purge the world for the sake of the future. Hasn't that been done already? Yeah, pretty much. That's why another reason why Logan's run was trending today on Twitter. It's just okay. So like going back to the silver thing, in theory, you can help treatment with the silver nanospheres, old, weak people from dying from later bacterial infections in the lungs facilitated by damage caused by the virus. Okay. So yeah, these are things in theory. All right. And again, a lot of this is meant to be just like treatment. I think it was Cuba was developing a treatment. I think not a vaccine, but like just a treatment is what I think I was hearing. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. Like the whole of the world's medical community right now is pretty much laser focused on this. And I think that's going to benefit it, because then they're going to like really, really, really work it. But we're still not going to be able to walk away. We're still not going to be able to force this thing through. We're not going to be able to do that. Medical science has to take its time to get it right. It's going to take, the estimates are now a year and a half, and that could change. It could go longer. It could go sooner, depending on whether or not the strain of the virus mutates, which I've already heard that it's doing. It's become there's another strain that's more aggressive. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. I'm sure one of you would tell me. That's where we are. Yeah, Lauren Chen is, I know, fucking roaming millennial. I know her. I've met her a couple times. She is a nice person, but Jesus, her takes on the Blaze are just like, they make me cringe. Like they make part of my soul like want to exit through my asshole is what happens when I read her tweets. I ultimately blocked her, which pissed her off, but I'm fine with that. Let's see here. Okay, Medicare for all equal Italy, not Medicare for all in America. We're doing better in Italy because we don't have. No, we're not. No, we're not. There's also, look, you can have Medicare for all. The problem is the fast spreading of the virus. The problem is the people who are the cases that rapidly multiply and the cases then that overload the healthcare system. And then that causes a bottleneck and a jam, and that ends up causing a lot more problems. That's why we're doing the social distancing here and why they're trying to make it more of a mandated thing, because it slows the spread. And yes, Italy has done it, but still by the time it hit there, it hit them hard and they weren't fully expecting it. Like, I get the point you're trying to make. I do. I get the angle you are coming from, but it's like, I don't know if you get everything that's going on. You know, I just don't get that, Michael. I really wish you'd stop watching Fox News or Tim Pool, whatever. I don't know. Let's see here. People shouldn't have to pay $34,000 for treatment for Corona. Yeah, I agree. How will you spend? Okay, this is from Back to the Money. It will go into savings. My hours got cut from 40 to 32 hours. So that's good, man. That, look, as long as it eventually goes back into the economy, you know, whatever, it's a way to help people out. If you are in a position to where you can put it in savings, then that's what you're going to have to do. And that's fine. I'm not against that at all. Chen says I should get 1,500. Well, that'd be nice. I know Bernie was pushing for like 2,000 a month. Let's see. Have I seen The Most Hated Woman in America on Netflix? I wasn't aware there was a documentary about Ann Coulter, but no, I haven't. I don't know what it's about. Let's see. In the U.S., we have tested over 340,000 people, less than 50,000 people that have been infected. Oh my God, it's only as serious as your silly brains make it out to be. No, this is still something to concern ourselves with. And the more people act like it's not something to be concerned about, the longer this sort of thing takes. That is the situation. This is where we find ourselves. If you are not taking it seriously enough to at least do the bare minimum, then you're kind of part of the problem. And that's only then going to then exacerbate the problem, provided things do not go well. And we don't know yet where things are going to go. I find the right wing response to this to be exceptionally short-sighted. And I think a lot of it is just through fear and control. But you're not going to when this eventually comes to you or someone you know or someone you love, then you'll look at it and it will be now personal. Now it's realistic. Now it's in your worldview. You can't get rid of it. It's there in front of you, looking you dead in the eye. And then you'll take it seriously. The problem with it is, though, is that is so many people that are going to be doing that. Like the idiot who did the Corona challenge by licking toilet seats and then now is in the hospital because he has coronavirus. And Twitter even deactivated his account as a result of that. I'm not kidding. Sorry about that today. Let's see here. Okay. Jeffrey, you've got to let that go, dude. Obama's not president anymore. All right. I don't even know what job you would have in LA that would give you that kind of insurance. Okay, so if you think the government goes oppressive, authoritarian, and forces curfews and oppressive ID systems, and people only certain people have freedoms, we can start an underground parkour delivery service. So what you're talking? Oh God, what was that? What's that fucking game? Right? Mirror's Edge. So you know. Let's see. UPS employees deserve $2,500. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I would say that's something that you're going to be. And also, aren't UPS employees right now being told to not wear masks and gloves because of like they don't want to give off the corporate appeal that it's like, oh, yeah, we're worried about someone getting infected. It's such a nonsense thing, isn't it? Don't you think you'd want the people delivering the goods to be protected so they can continue doing it? That's the way I view that shit. Let's see here. I don't trust the actual testing numbers as the U.S. created the tests were false positives. That is, yeah. I know we are trying to get over to the South Korea method, but they've got to get working on those tests. There were some guys out of Toronto, I think, that made like tests that could work for like $1. I don't know. Look, like if they do mobile testing near me, I'll go get tested, like just to do it, just to get that peace of mind. I know I'm not sick, but just to be on the safe side. Anyway. All right. So we are on the front lines of this mess and get nothing but the same wage while everyone else gets free money to chill in the safety of their own homes. Well, I mean, all things considered, Chance, look, dude, I'll be real with you for a second. Like, yeah, you are in the front lines of this, right? If you work in a restaurant, you're on the front lines of this. You deliver people's foods, you're on the front lines of this. Yeah, you're on the front lines of this, and you should be getting hazard pay. You should be getting more, 100%. But if it's something that you feel is too much, you have the freedom to still quit, and you'll still get the $1,200. And that way you put yourself, you have to do what's right for you, even if that means leaving your job. I'm not saying do it, but I'm saying, like, I get where you are, and I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. But I also feel that it's like, at some point, if you feel it's too much, then you should be able to exit and then, you know, take care of you. I just don't think your company's going to do it. I just don't see him doing it, unfortunately. Let's see. Spit Dragon here says, this is very real. Anyone belittling the virus at this point is just being willfully ignorant. Yeah, I agree. I've got people, I've been talking about it in some like car vlogs, and like some of the comments are funny. A lot of people telling me I need to get COVID and die. And this one dude does it, and he keeps telling me that. And he says that he's like a Marine Reserve, you know? And I'm like, wow, man, you're just an upstanding person, aren't you? Let's see here. You're just not getting hazard pay. Okay. Well, wait, then what are you getting? I don't know. Let's see. James Woods got his account today suspended for a tweet saying vote Republican towards a speedy remedy to the pandemic. Yeah. Well, for one, that's not going to happen. And two, that does suck. I think I saw that. I don't agree with it. I think James Woods, as much as a cocaine fueled asshole as he is, he has a right to voice his shitty opinion like everyone else does. So yeah, I don't know why he's pissed off Twitter a lot though. You know, he's really pissed off Twitter. I think they have it out for him. Perhaps Gab might be more up his speed, or perhaps Telegraph might be more up his speed. No, not only quitting will get you to the 1,200, you'll get the 1,200 regardless. What I'm saying is, if it's that worrisome and you're not getting hazard pay, and you feel you're owed hazard pay, which I agree with you that you're owed hazard pay if you're on the front lines doing this shit, then if you feel you have to make that choice to quit, you will be getting the 1,200 regardless. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like you should quit. I'm saying that if you feel that it's too much and that you're in too much danger, you still have that to fall back on, is what I'm saying. Let's see here. What Frontlines had to do is document their work as proof for future retribution. That's an idea. Let's see here. UPS employees are getting nothing but a few extra hours a day because of the volume. Well, I mean, it's extra hours, right? That's something. Again, I agree with you on the hazard pay. I do. Let's see. So what happens to China? They released the virus. Well, the virus, it happened. I mean, okay. Nothing will happen to China. Let's be realistic. Nothing will happen to China. Too many of our businesses have outsourced jobs overseas for years to cheap Chinese labor, and more often than not, actual, like, you know, prison camps, work camps, where these people live in squalor and poverty to provide you with that brand new pair of Nikes that you're dropping $150 on, or that new iPhone, right? Or whatever the fuck else you're going to buy that's mass produced in China. Too much of the Western world's goods come from there. And so these mega corporations that make billions upon billions of dollars a year selling this shit, they're not going to fucking go after China, because what's going to happen? There's 1.4 billion people in China. 1.4 billion people. Few of them die. They get replaced pretty quickly. right? As long as the supply line doesn't dry up. So you know what? There's going to be a big show publicly. Oh, we need to find China. Blah 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 blah. Ain't going to happen. What America should do, they should do, is just say we're not going to pay back the debt we owe China, and you can fucking eat a dick. But how's that going to go for geopolitics, right? How many people out there? How many other countries are going to stand up and back the U.S. if they do that? Are they going to fucking ostracize China? Who would be there to pick up the pieces with China? Oh, it'd be Putin. Now we're fucking talking about getting some more Axis powers together, right? Who still have nuclear missiles and still have all this other shit. And then we find ourselves kind of on the verge of World War III. China ain't gonna have shit happen to it, man. Ain't gonna have nothing fucking happen to it. So, and also here, Dr. Cheda says here, virus circumnavigation of the globe. China is no more to blame than Chicago for the murder rate. If it gets around, it gets around. You can't catch it for a while. There's also that point too. Have I seen the Frontline documentary about Amazon and their abysmal business practices? Not that one, but like I watched the Last Week Tonight talk about it. And yeah, I agree. Fucking Amazon is terrible. You want to talk about it, like, I mean, Jeff Bezos runs Amazon like a lot of companies run fucking their workshops or whatever in China. It's bad. And that's why I'll catch shit in the comments for saying this, but who's the presidential campaign, the presidential, candidate right now, who's actually stood up to fucking Amazon? Oh, right. Bernie Sanders, so perhaps maybe might be a good idea to do something like that. To back a man's going to do that shit. Let's see here. Any chance this ordeal will encourage the U.S. to become a major producer instead of a consumer? Nope. I mean, there's going to be talks of it, but let's be fair. Look, there's going to be talks. You're going to get your politicians, your senators, your representatives going up there. They'll be beating the chest. Oh, fuck China, right? They're not going to do anything. Americans are still 20 some odd million, 330 million people in this country that are consumers. We are a capitalist country. And if you make any other claim to that one, you get either called a commie or a socialist. Even though most of the time the people who hurl those terms have zero understanding of how the fuck they operate anyway, or what the fuck they mean. And so, no, we're not. We're not, because we are an instant gratification society. Do you know why the Reopen America hashtag was trending today? Because after a week of this, the instant gratification, addicted people are pissed off that they can't get their instant gratification, that they have to slow things down, that they can't go get what they want when they want it. They equate that to freedom. It's not necessarily, but that's what they equate it to. That's why they want to reopen this shit, because they want that instant gratification. They want to feel like things are normal again. They want to move back to normalcy. And they can't. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to happen. We're going to find a new normal, right? But our society, as it was 2-3 at the beginning of the year, that is not how things are, and that is not how they're going to be for the foreseeable future. But this is what they want. They want to go back. It's GOP politics 101, regressive approach to everything. If we just go back, we'll be okay. Bitch, this ain't a fucking save game from a video game, right? This isn't a save point. You didn't fucking saunter up to a campfire and save your character in fucking Dark Souls, right? This isn't that type of shit. This is not how it works. We are on a linear pathway moving forward. There is no going back. And we are not in the same world. So no, we're not going to change things. We're not going to change things at all. Dr. Shada here says, I completely agree with the instant gratification. Yeah. Because I've been saying that shit for years. That we're instant. Don't get me wrong. Right? I'll talk about it, but I'm totally instant gratification. Right? Starbucks was closed this week. As soon as I found a Starbucks that was open, I was there getting something to drink. Right? And I was really craving it. And I went and I got it right away. Because I am also part of the problem. I'm not going to deny that. So I get that. But we are an instant gratification society. Look at Netflix. Look at Pornhub. Do you want to watch Mia Malkova get railed by 2 BBCs? You can do it right now. Before I even finish that sentence, you could be Googling it and just watch it. You know what I mean? Like you could, it's there. It's instant. We have completely desensitized our culture to this shit. We've completely grown addicted to this shit. I mean, if you go back and you watch Wally, man, that movie fucking laid it out. We destroyed our planet, so we moved to space while other people came in and fixed shit, and it didn't get done. And 500 years later, we're still living in this completely gluttonous environment that has ultimately destroyed all of our drives because something else is there to look after us, and we get that instant gratification. So why do we need to actually solve anything or fix anything? Because we are taken care of. Even if this is our base needs, they are taken care of. You throw a little bit of pizzazz and flash on top of that shit, and it fucking makes it all the better, right? A little bit of poopery on that shit, fucking makes your shit smell like fucking vanilla. That's where we are. We've been there for years. It hasn't gotten any better. The new millennial, like the Gen Zers, have grown up with this shit, right? I'm what you call a Zennial, not quite a millennial, but not quite a Gen Xer. I'm in the middle, but I was like the last generation to grow up without the internet. To know what it's like without the internet, to know what it's like with black and white TVs, to not have smartphones, right? Like to not have any of those things. So I understand what life is like back in the day. You know, I'll be able to tell my grandkids, well, you know, when I was a kid, we had black and white television. I used to watch Howdy fucking Doody on Nickelodeon. They'll be like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, you watch Toy Story 28? It's like Woody, but real, but a puppet. Things like that. I mean, but we're just in a different world. And so the people that are growing up now, they have a different life. But they're also extremely narcissistic and vain and vapid, mostly because of the way that we have social media and instant gratification and all these problems. It's a big issue. It's a big issue. Anyway, definitely Wall-E was a great film, 100%. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm awake. I'm wide awake. It's like 1:39 in the morning. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna put this out there. If anyone here likes this kind of content, you want me to rant more often, consider supporting via Cash App. That way Google doesn't take their 30%. So you can do Cash App, at Jarbo can take some questions or whatever that way. But I'm going to chill. Why not? Fuck it. Okay. Speaking of technology, we don't have 5G yet. Well, yeah, but that's coming. That's going to be, it's going to be slowed down, but it's still coming, right? I mean, was it T-Mobile just got the the FCC approval to merge with Sprint, and they're going to be bringing 5G, and then they're going to be using Sprint's network, which has the ability to cut deeper, to go further, and that's going to be good, but yeah, we need to get 5G. We need to get 5G quite a bit. We need to, I honestly feel like 5G, whatever comes after that, is going to eventually just be as fast as like cable internet. And we're just going to get rid of hard lines, and we're just going to end up having all the wireless shit. And anything that can fuck over Comcast is entirely okay in my book. I fucking hate them. Let's see here. Allison says, I'm from Washington, like this content. Thank you, Allison. What part of Washington are you from? And are you holding up okay? Hope it's not Seattle. I will not go to Seattle right now. I will not go to Seattle if my life fucking depended on it. And that has a lot to do with the fact that I don't want to die. I was delivering food to a guy the other day, and he's like, dude, right now you should go to Seattle. And I'm like, why? And he's like, oh man, like you can get a hotel room for dirt cheap, and you can like go to like GameWorks, which is like the Dave and Buster's there, and like go and play games for like $20 all night. It's just they're looking for any money they can get, and you're all good. And I'm all like, man, I don't know. 100 confirmed deaths in the state now. I mean, I think I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk going out there and getting myself caught up on that shit. Let's see here. All right. So fucking nihilistic. I'm nihilistic tonight. Why not? Oh, you're from Vancouver. You're already a hermit, so you're good. Well, yeah, and I'm worried about how Portland's gonna be. My mom is in Portland. My sister's in Vancouver. A bunch of my family's in Vancouver. And like my grandpa's in Vancouver, and he's in his late 80s, and he's in a home, and I can't go see him, which sucks. And so yeah, there's that. Like it really is one of those situations where I'm worried about Portland, because Portland has a big homeless problem, just like Seattle does. I don't know if it's going to get to, part of me has kind of wondered, and this is going to sound kind of like bad. I've just also wondered like how much of this, is maybe like it's going to take out certain people, like, is it really going to impact the homeless community? Are they going to be hit, really bad? They've already got like compromised, health. And are they going to, I don't want that, but it's just, in cities with a lot of homeless problems like LA, Frisco, Seattle, Portland, is it going to be a big problem there? And I haven't heard any stories about that yet, but my mind wanders there. But I do wonder how Portland is going to go. I really hope I really hope it does okay. All the game places. Okay. Now all the game places are closed. Okay. Let's see. You worked at Dave and Buster's till you were let go because of this shit. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you get your job back. I really do. I like Dave and Buster's. It's a fun place. Let's see. In the meantime, everyone's talking about going out of the country and buying up supplies and acting like everyone's coming after their gold or silver or whatever. Not after their TP. But I mean, I've contemplated getting out of the country. My mom was born in Canada, so I qualify for dual citizenship. I'd like to take my kids and go to Canada. And, I mean, look, there are fewer people in the entire country of Canada than the entirety of California. Than the whole state of California, there's fewer people. So you have a lot more spread out places. And the Canadian dollar is weaker than the American dollar, so the American dollar would actually go further in Canada. I've looked into it. I like Canada. It's potential. I might actually do that in the next couple of years. It all depends. Let's see here. Sorry, you're more into the amateur scene. Well, yeah. You could pro-am that, right? Go to motherless.com or something. All I'm saying when I talk about instant gratification and porn, it's there, right? It is there. Instant gratification and pornography is there. I mean, if you want to see something funny, I'm not going to show this on stream because I don't want to get my shit shut the fuck down. But if you want to see something funny, right? Like really, really, really goddamn funny, here's what you do. Go to, I believe it's pornmd.com, right? Yeah. So go to pornmd.com, pornmd.com. Click on live search, and you can just see what people are looking for right now. And it is a thing. Here's one: faking Spanish. Hairy ass anal, 3D hentai dog sex. Oh my god. MILF domina piss. Poland, just Poland. Okay. Oh my god, morbidly obese bitch fucked. There we go. Oh my god, Japanese injured, disgusting guy. What the fuck? Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I mean, this is like, I'm just saying, if you want to laugh, just look to see what people are searching for. And you can do straight, gay, or trans. I mean, like, there's, you can look up a lot of stuff here. I won't show it on screen because I've gotten in trouble for doing that before. Let's see here. Let's see. Ryan Hartwell says, if it exists, there's porn of it. Obviously, Rule 34, 100%. Shidoko here says he just opened Pandora's box, dude. If you want to laugh, just go check it out. If you want to laugh, just go and do them. Let's see. In LA, 50-50 here, better than expected, worse than you think in certain areas. Yeah, that's kind of what I would expect, Shidoko. In LA, it's going to be, 4 million people in the city, 12 million people in the county. A lot of people not paying attention to like the social distancing, especially in Malibu the other day. It's a big problem. It's definitely a big problem. Let's see here. Venmo has been down all day. Oh, I'm sure it has. Cam whores are going crazy right now. In Ireland, they're giving $350 a week until Corona is gone. Well, yeah, I do feel something like that is going to be happening here. I do. I really think that. I think a lot of people, I think it's going to happen. If this is not contained in a month, it's going to be we're going to be in some bad shapes. Let's see here. Religious red states are the ones that are searching the freak stuff. It's been proven with Pornhub tracking. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, in any place where you've got, I mean, like, look, remember when Bin Laden was killed and they found porn on his hard drive? You know, they're like, oh, Bin Laden had a lot of pornography. Like, well, yeah, I mean, you know, he's human, and the guy clearly was like, like needed his alone time. He had to take down his own twin tower. But no, there's in any kind of repressive area, people are going to be looking for some of the more depraved shit. You know, it's like look at the Amish with Rumspringa. They get to leave and go out and party, and a lot of them they do some hardcore shit. So that ends up being an issue. That ends up happening. The more a person is repressed, then the crazier it comes out. And yeah, so you see that a lot in those areas, right? But the rest of the world's like, oh yeah, no, fucking, what was it? What was I reading? Something today on New York Post is like the New York, I think it's like the New York Surgeon General or whatever, or like the person in charge of health is like trying to campaign against rim jobs. I think that's happening. Hold on. Yeah, let me take a look here. I'll see if I can find it because that was actually pretty fucking funny. All right, New York Post. I love reading the New York Post. There is so many what in the hell articles on there. Though they post a lot of stuff. Okay. There's an article here. The weird ways celebrities are coping with coronavirus. And of course, it's that video of Madonna naked in a tub. Why? Like, no, we don't need that. We're fine. Okay. Greta Thunberg apparently has coronavirus, according to her. That is definitely, wait, I think I know the guy. I know the account to look at. All right. I know the account. Here we go. New York. Yeah, it was New York Post. Okay. Let me bring this up because we'll take a look at this article together because why not? Why not gross everybody out? Right? Why not, hey, I make some funny jokes when it's nearly 2 a.m. There we go. Okay. So this is the New York Post here talking about NYC declares war on rim jobs in graphic health department memo. I love how fucked up things get in New York. So, all right. The city's health agency issued graphic underlines or guidelines for practicing safe sex practices during the coronavirus pandemic. And while many were quick to take jabs at the agency for declaring masturbation as safer than sex with a partner, most missed the backdoor rim shot. Yeah, they're really trying to say it's all like, I actually told that to my girlfriend earlier. I said, the state of New York is advocating for more masturbation and less sex. I didn't really get a response out of that one, but I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, okay, yes, the city specifically called out rimming or using the tongue on the anal rim of another person for sexual pleasure as particularly dangerous in a jaw-chopping section of the public safety alert. This is what they say here. Rimming mouth on anus might spread COVID-19 virus in feces that may enter your mouth. Oh my God, Cartman's mom right now is just knowing, no. Oh wow. Okay, let's see here. The city. I want to see if I can find the actual. Oh yeah, here's the actual note. We'll just look at the actual note. This is fucking hysterical. Okay, so sex and coronavirus. Let me just. I'll make that. Where am I at? Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're good. All right. So, sex and coronavirus disease. Okay. So, all New Yorkers should stay home and minimize contact with others to reduce the spread. But can you have sex? Here are some tips for how to enjoy sex and to avoid spreading COVID. So, know how it spreads. The virus can spread to people who are within about 6 feet of a person with COVID-19 when that person coughs or sneezes. The virus can spread through direct contact with their saliva or mucus. So that's why we have the 6 feet rule, right? I thought it was just like a precautionary method. I didn't realize it was actually like based upon some stuff. We still have a lot to learn about it. So it says it's been found in feces of people who are infected with the virus. Man, imagine having that job. That's shitty. It's not been found in semen or vaginal fluids. So that's good. Fun factoid. This is true. If you ever meet anyone who has had Ebola and been cured of Ebola, still have sex with a condom. Sorry. Reason why? It's Ebola stored in the balls. I'm not kidding on that either. It is. It's actually like the world's worst sexually transmitted disease because, yeah, it's there. All right. So have sex with people close to you. You are your safest sex partner. Masturbation will not spread COVID-19, especially if you wash your hands and any sex toys with soap and water for at least 20 seconds before and after. The next safest partner is someone you live with. Having close contact, including sex with only a small circle of people, helps prevent COVID-19 from spreading. You should avoid close contact, including sex with anyone outside your household. If you do have sex with others, have as few partners as possible. Basically, the city of New York is saying, listen, get the fuck off Tinder. What the fuck are you doing? Okay? Get off Tinder. And I guarantee you, the sex stores are probably selling out a dental dam right now. All right. So take care during sex. You have to love this here. Kissing can easily pass it. Avoid kissing anyone who is not part of your small circle of close contacts. Rimming mouth on anus might spread COVID-19. Virus and feces may enter your mouth. Condoms and dental dams can reduce the contact with saliva or feces, especially during oral or anal sex. There we go, folks, right? They want you to wrap it up, right? No glove, no love. That's how they should be approaching this, right? No glove, no love. This the CDC and like Planned Parenthood should team up and just like drop dental dam and condoms from the sky using the Goodyear blimp over fucking Central Park and just start dropping it out there saying, this is what we need. This is what we have to do. And this is how we survive by using dental dam on the butt. And then, of course, being sure to wash up before and after sex is now more important than ever. That's a weird one, right? That's kind of a weird one to me. I'm not saying I'm against it. Like, you should definitely wash before and after sex, but who's going to wash before sex? Right. I mean, I'm just being like realistic on this one here. Who is going to wash before sex? Right. I mean, like if you're in the heat of the moment, you're Netflixing and chilling. Are you really going to like get up and go wash your balls and your dick or your vagina and breasts and neck? Are you going to, go and take a shower before and after? Some people might. But all things considered, this is when a company needs to come out with the full body latex condom. And if you've ever seen the movie, what's it called? The Naked Gun. You know that joke. But yeah, that's where we find ourselves on this front right now. We have a lot of people that are outright, hopefully being safe while in confinement. Okay, Shidoko here says COVID-19 may make dating more complicated. Now I get to ask, were you infected? Yeah. I mean, at least for the next, little while, you're gonna want to, maybe slyly ask the question, yo girl, you ever get COVID-19? Because that shit, nay. I mean, like, you got to ask those questions, right? This is why I'm honestly glad I've been in a relationship for over 10 years, because I don't have to worry about that shit. It's only considerate. It is only considerate. It is. Let's see here. The funk factor determines the shower. That is true. The funk factor does determine the shower. But some people out there really like stinky ass. They do. Right? Like, I'll tell you, there's a guy I used to work with, totally into like German porn, right? And he was older. He recently passed away, unfortunately. And that was really sad because he was a really fun, really interesting person to talk to. But, he was older, total druggie, all that shit. Really, really loved like vintage German porn, especially with pubic hair for days, right? This man wanted to most likely be buried in a coffin of just nothing but pubes. And he loved it. And for him, it was the smell. He would keep in mind, this is at a drive-in. And so we'd have a swap meet. He worked for the swap meet. That's why, we worked together, but it was like different companies. And he would find, like used women's underwear, and he would like have them strung out above in his office. And he would wear them like a face mask, it just to fuck with people. But he would like openly admit to loving the scent, right? The scent is what got him going. And so, yeah, I mean, well, the funk factor is going to be an issue for some people, but not everybody. Not everybody, folks. 100% not everybody. Accelerate the collapse. Eat ass unprotected. There we go. There we go. Oh my God. Yes. There. Yeah. Eat ass unprotected. We have, I haven't done a live stream like this in a while, but you guys got to understand there's some crazy fucking news going around about this, right? And I really do pay a fair amount of attention to this shit because it's pretty, in my mind, it's pretty goddamn fucking funny. So here's the thing. If you've gotten a chuckle out of this, do me a favor, hit that like button. All right. Go ahead and smack that like button. Get on in there. And everything else. So we've got the, I'm just saying there's so much craziness. This stream is completely demonetized. It's entirely demonetized because of the shit that I've been saying. Shikibara here says, it sounds like the Japanese girls would make a killing off of selling their panties to him. Nah, he was cheap. Part of the thrill for him was the hunt of finding them. That was part of the thrill. If he could purchase it, he didn't want it. He wanted to find it. He wanted to stumble across that lost ark. He wanted to open up the pirate's treasure, the booty, if you will, to find that treasure trove of panties. That's what he was into. He liked the hunt. He was also a hoarder. I should probably also mention that. So, not all the way there. Like I would want, like this guy was like former Army Ranger and shit. And he was, like I said, he was crazy. He was a cool dude. Like he would like have to clean and they'd have to clean a lot. And like, so he would like do meth, right? He would like do meth. He like smoke meth. And then at the end of the day, like after he's tweaking hardcore, like to get all this cleaning done, I'd watch him like smoke like 4 bowls of pot just to calm the fuck down. He would sit back in the shed and he'd be watching, like he'd be checking out the porn and he wouldn't be doing nothing. Like he wouldn't be jerking it and nothing like that, but he would just be sitting back there watching it and like smoking weed. That was his calm down session, and they do say it scientifically. They do say that boobs are calming, right? And probably because most of us are breastfed. So like, that's kind of our attraction to boobs, but they're calming. See, tits are calming. So I think that might've been his way of kind of calming down. I said, weird dude. I miss that guy. Actually, he was really fun to work with all those years. Cause you would always get something different out of him. Always great. Let's see here. John here says, I was on a ship in the Navy in 1984 and there was a lot of foreign porn being played on the ship. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, a lot of my friends who were in the Navy, because I was in San Diego, a lot of my friends who were in the Navy would come back and tell stories of all the hookers they had sex with in the different ports. Hell, my former boss, 23 years in the Navy, his most prized possession is a photograph of him and his younger brother in Longapo, Thailand in 1975, Christmas Day. And they have got 3 hookers around them. And he keeps his picture in his wallet. And he does it because those are the whores he had sex with. And that was his brother. And he's like, I had sex with her and I had sex with her. And he would tell us all the stories about all the hookers he had sex with. And like Longapo and the Philippines and I think Australia and everything else. He liked Philippines and Longapo, Thailand quite a bit. He'd even like tell stories about bagging Mama-san, like, yeah, people in the military, they fucking love talking about all the whores. So it happens. That's why they're called tugboats. Let's see here. You see that the New York Post had a slow day of news. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Ted Bundy, if I can't buy it, I don't want it. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much. All right, guys, it is 2:00 in the morning. I do need to go and get some sleep because I've got to get up and look after my kids in the morning. This has been an absolute blast. So much fun. Looking forward to doing it again. I appreciate you guys coming on in. We got 60 people watching in the middle of the night. That's insane. If you guys enjoyed this and you want to see more, by all means, let me know and I'll keep doing it. I there's been a distance between me and you guys for a while, for some reasons. And I'm kind of wanting to, fight past that shit, right? To keep working with everybody, have a good time. And just chill the hell out. So anyway, I appreciate everyone coming on in. Have yourself a fantastic night. Again, stay safe. Don't fucking, don't eat ass unless you do want to eat ass, and then use a dental dam. In the meantime, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a great night, and peace out.